Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome from REO Speedwagon, Bruce Hall and Kimmie Sue. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
It's an honor to have you both here, and we are so excited to learn more about you and learn more about this really amazing concert that is coming up very soon. It is the Legacy of REO Speedwagon concert, and it's a charity concert. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what this charity will benefit?
Okay. All right. Well, let me take it.
Start.
So, a lot of folks may or may not know our oldest son, Tommy, was diagnosed with cancer in 2017, testicular cancer. And he came to us, he was working at the clubhouse in our neighborhood, came to us on Easter Sunday after working the brunch. He said, "Mom, I've got to show you something. Never in a million years did I think he's going to, show me his balls." And thank God Bruce was home, right? Because typically you're not home and you were on tour a lot. And Bruce immediately said, no, that's not right. So we went to the doctor.
First of all, it was great that he came to us in the first place.
Absolutely. And because I have to give testament to Bruce because I'm a typical mom, helicopter mom's mother, they call me, and worried constantly. But Bruce always is got that open line of communication and talks to the kids about anything and everything. And I will never criticize him again for that because Tommy came right to us because he was comfortable saying anything and telling us anything. So open line of communication for sure with your kids. So Monday, took him to the doctor. Thursday, his testicle was removed. That's how advanced it was. It spread to his kidney. He had 6 rounds of chemo. We took him to Moffitt Cancer Center, where they have an amazing doctor, Dr. Spees, who specializes in testicular cancer. And most folks, your testicles removed and you're good to go. But unfortunately, Tommy's had spread, and we needed to get him over to Moffitt. And long story short, he has been cancer free now for 8 years, and he wasn't supposed to be able to have kids. And he got his wife pregnant literally right after they got married because they were not expecting he could have kids. And God had a plan, and our sweet little, her name's Penny, so she's our lucky Penny. So whenever he was saved, REO Speedwagon decided that we would start a foundation at Moffitt Cancer Center just to spread awareness and raise awareness because it's the most common cancer in men ages 18 to 35.
That's right.
You tell women all the time to check your breasts constantly, but nobody ever says check your balls to these young men, right? And so listen to the halls and check your balls and tell all your friends and especially if you've got boys, nephews, friends, nieces, like tell everybody, that it's okay and that you catch it early enough, you'll be all right. So we have a foundation at the Moffitt Cancer Center, the REO Speedwagon Foundation for Rare GU Cancer Research. And we've been able to donate, I believe, close to $700,000 since we had it. And so the proceeds from this concert, when they approached Bruce and the rest of the band, but they approached Bruce first, and he said, I don't want any money. I just want all the money to go to charity, and I want it to go to our foundation. So every rock star that's performing, formerly of REO Speedwagon, has agreed, and all the proceeds of the merchandise, the show, all the proceeds are going to Moffitt, specifically to our foundation, so they can continue to save lives. So we're really, really very excited and very blessed that that's the vision and where all the money's going. So, yeah.
I love this for so many reasons. Education is a huge key piece because if they don't know to say something, they don't say it. And as you say, they teach women for breast checks, but they do not teach regular testicular checks, and that needs to happen. And the education piece is not free. It requires funding in order to get that information out, and education is life-saving. I love your foundation. I love your open communication with your family, and hopefully we'll continue this open communication with the greater community. We're very honored to be part of your story.
Thank you. You know, our son is very open and has helped many young men who are scared to death to have what is the operation like? What does it mean? You know, can you still perform? Can you, things that are kind of uncomfortable topics. Our son, I would never wish cancer on anyone, but I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. And I feel that Tommy got it because he has the strength and just the personality, and he saves lives. He talks freely about it. He's going to open the show actually, in Champaign with the CEO from Moffitt. So folks can trust that this is not us blowing smoke. We're not taking a dime. All the money's going there, and this show, we never dreamed this. I don't want to get too far into it, but Kevin Cronin, the lead singer, decided to go solo and leave REO Speedwagon, and it was devastating. And I believe everything happens for a reason. And if he hadn't done that, we wouldn't have had to have this show. It wouldn't have even been a thought. And if we can save one person's life, then you know what? Maybe that's the reason. So, not to say that hopefully things can come back and maybe REO Speedwagon can be put together at a later time, but. Anyway, we're so grateful. Yeah. We're so grateful.
Well said.
And in particular, this cancer is very treatable, but you have to come forward in order to be treated, right? And so the funding like this is absolutely necessary, and once again, it's not cheap. And so an event like this can really bring forward a high quality donation into your foundation that can serve that greater community. So I work in critical care at a children's hospital. So that's,
wow.
So I know the dance, and I know what families go through, but the key is diagnosis. You got to get them diagnosed in order to get the ball rolling. So
wait too long, and because they're embarrassed, and but even the merchandise, the T-shirts are going to say on the back, "Listen to the holes and check your balls." We're hoping it's catchy, it's funny, but and it's kind of rock, but whatever you got to do, right? Whatever you got to do to make it okay because you can talk about breast cancer and checking your breast constantly, right? Like that's not embarrassing, women breastfeed. We don't talk about, things like that. And we just really want to let folks know it's okay to go to your parents, go to your spouse, go to your friends, go to the doctor. Just don't let it go. Yeah. Right?
Don't let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, that's an REO Speedwagon.
I'll be darned.
I'm here for you. I got this.
I didn't even mean to do that. All right.
I'm all in. I mean, that could be on the t-shirt too.
Don't let it go instead of don't let him go. Yeah.
But this is a great combination, an REO Speedwagon concert and benefiting your foundation at the Moffitt Cancer Center.
It's not technically REO Speedwagon. We can't call it.
Okay, right. Okay, so it's your tribute concert.
But it's the two founding members of REO Speedwagon, the original lead singer.
Yeah,
you're going to have a lot of people there. Where is this concert going to be at?
It's going to be in Champaign, Illinois, my hometown. That's where I grew up, in Champaign.
Okay. Yes, so it's a very special venue for you to come back and do this special.
When I was young,
concert.
We lived in Champaign. They built the Assembly Hall. That's what it used to be called, the Assembly Hall. And we used to think of it as a spaceship because it looks kind of like a spaceship. And when you're little and you got a band, well, I started when I was 13. So I used to go, oh man, wouldn't it be great to play there someday? Because we're starting to have bands there. And so now, I played there a couple times already, and I don't know, it seems it's a different kind of venue for me because it's at home.
Right.
Yeah. And it's going to be great. It's going to be so great. I got Neil, who was retired, and he came out. And Alan Gratzer,
Okay.
who was retired, he's coming back out. These two guys, they started REO Speedwagon back in like 1967
At the
or
University of Champaign.
Yeah.
Oh, at the university. That's a fun fact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Neil was in history of transportation class. They started the band, and they needed a name for the band. And an REO Speedwagon is actually a fire truck. Ransom E Oldsmobile is what
Right.
REO stands for. And REO Speedwagon was written on the chalkboard. And Neil thought, okay, that sounds like a good.
Well, they needed that's how it happened.
He's a genius. Neil Dowdy is one of the smartest people
Electrical
on
engineer.
the flippin' planet. But he's also one of the funniest and most talented. Yeah, he's.
So
That's not it. That's not
class?
everything. Then Terry Luttrell, who was the lead singer with REO when they made their very first album,
Yeah.
he has a band now, and they're doing classic rock REO from the very first album. So he's out there. He's got a band called Classic Rock.
REO Classics Band,
REO
I
Classic
think is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to open up. They're going to be doing about 4 or 5 songs. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, with Steve Scorfina, who was the guitarist. A lot of folks think Gary Richrath was the original guitarist, but Steve Scorfina was actually there. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Mike Murphy.
Mike, my buddy.
And you were in bands.
Yeah, I was in bands with Mike before he joined REO Speedwagon.
And Gary.
I was in band with Gary before he joined REO Speedwagon. So when they,
I love how deep your history goes back with all these.
There's a lot of every time we go to Champaign, we take the kids and Bruce will go, I lived in that house, I lived in that house, I lived and so finally we said, maybe you should start telling us where you didn't live, honey, because he's related to the whole town. He's actually the only member of REO Speedwagon that was born in Champaign, so it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's and our whole ding dang family's coming and all your best friends from high school
it's going
and
to be raw.
yeah,
It'll be fun.
yeah.
So if you're attending this concert, you really get a retrospective
That's what it's about. It's all about.
performance.
Tell her about the production. So.
Oh, yeah. A guy by the name of Paul Dexter, he works with REO Speedwagon for years, running our lights and our production. And he is an amazing artist in his own right. And he's come up with this amazing light show. And we have this, I wouldn't call it an endless budget, but it's a pretty darn good budget for lights and everything. And we got these big screens. There are going to be at least 3 giant screens up. And the things he can do with the board he has and the lights he has is going to be amazing. There's going to be a film tribute to Gary, a memorial tribute to him, and Greg Philbin, the original bass
The
player.
original bass player, Greg Philbin.
So we're not leaving anybody out. We're going to bring everybody.
And truly, what you were saying is, it's the history is going to be told
Yeah.
through film behind them. Like every song has there's going to be lasers. Like and we've got secrets we can't tell about certain people coming. But one person we can say also is coming is Eric Richrath, who is Gary Richrath's son. He's in Scotland. And he changed all his travel plans, and
right.
he actually is a singer-songwriter as well, and looked as a spitting image of his daddy, and we just love him to pieces, and it's just
And I can't
amazing.
wait.
Folks, you're not going to be disappointed, and to think all the money goes to such a great charity, and then
Yeah.
where else are you ever going to get the chance to see the founding fathers and the original singers and this magical hippie right here.
Everybody loves a magical
yeah.
hippie.
Definitely history. Okay, tell everybody when the concert is.
June 14th.
June 14th. Yes.
June 14th.
June 14th.
Yes,
Okay.
just about 1 month away. And it's at the
Yes.
State Farm Center. That used to be called the Assembly Hall.
Used to be
Bruce
called-
will call it the Assembly Hall forever.
I can't help
I know, but yeah.
Oh, good day. The day before my birthday.
And the day
so-
before Father's Day too.
And the day before Father's Day.
Yep.
Yes.
Um,
It would be
You
a
know,
great
it's-
Father's Day gift.
You
Right.
know, Father's Day gift. And so it is.
everybody loves a
Mhm.
concert in a fantastic venue, and I love that the venue has history for you. Like you just I want to be there. I want to play there. As someone who's attended a lot of concerts, one of the things is I want to go there. I want to see them there. How does it feel when you can revisit some of those iconic moments or moments like you're like, I got to play there 2 times before.
Yes.
It's got a special place in your
Yeah,
heart.
yeah. All of Champaign-Urbana is, well, I remember when I was younger, I couldn't do much more with my dream there. I wanted to be in a rock band and make records. That's ever since I was a kid. So, but in Champaign, there was a lot of places to learn and a lot of places to play, but there was nothing, you couldn't chase your dream all the way. So
Right.
you had to leave. And so I got older and I said, I got to get out of here. And it felt like it was holding me back. And that's,
Older? How old were you? 15?
No, well, Gary called me one night. I was at a place in Charleston, Illinois, and I got a phone call during a break, and it was Gary. This was when I was about 21, something like that, 21. And he goes, because Gary and I were good friends, and he didn't even ask me. He didn't say, you want to join the band? He said, pack up your stuff. He said, pack up your stuff. You're moving to California, because that's where the band had relocated by then. He says, I'll give you about a week, and then you got to get out here. We got 2 weeks of rehearsal, and then we're hitting the road.
Wow.
So I just said, okay. Okay. So
what else would you say?
So, but
aren't you glad you said okay?
Yeah, I'm glad I said okay. But at the time, I was in another band with some of my good friends there in Champaign, and I had to tell them goodbye. So that was the hard part. But yeah, that was the beginning of the adventure. Got there. Geez, I just moved into Alan Gratcher's house for a little while. And started just practicing these songs. I knew a lot of them because I'd known them for years, but I didn't know all the songs. Anyway, got them all figured out, and it was just boom, we're taking off there. I was in REO Speedwagon.
Wow. Just that one phone call, it changed the whole course of your life.
And Gary, you were in a band called Feather Train,
Yeah,
right?
with Gary before that in Champaign. Yeah.
And when Gary left that band to join REO Speedwagon, he promised Bruce they'd play together again.
Yeah, again.
So.
It's funny. There was another gentleman, Mike Murphy, who was the singer after Kevin left for the
third singer for REO Speedwagon. Yep.
Yeah, I was in a band with him just before he left to join REO Speedwagon. Yeah.
And he wrote Lost in a Dream. So before he was even in REO Speedwagon, he wrote the title track with Mike Murphy of Lost in a Dream, the record Lost in a Dream. So Bruce, why he's not a founding and original member, and he did join really early, but he was doing stuff for REO. And he wrote Back on the Road when you were 17 years old.
Yeah, I was a kid.
I mean, and these were songs that he had played, in his other bands that ended up becoming REO Speedwagon songs. I think it's so cool.
Wow.
I think it's
it is cool.
There's an undercurrent kind of history I've always had with REO since before I was ever in the band. So it kind of made sense when they called me up and asked me if I wanted to be in, or Gary said, "You're coming," and I said, I didn't say what took you so long, but I said, it's good. But the original bassist, Greg, he was my friend too, and
Butter. Tell her about Butter.
The bass that I love, which is somewhere in the house here, she is. I bought from Greg back in about 1968, I think it was, and I love that bass, and I always have, and I named it Butter because it plays like butter, and it's the same color as butter. Anyway, she's my girlfriend. I'm sorry, babe.
That's all right. I'll share you with Butter. Only Butter.
she's my girl, and we've been through a lot together, the whole musical journey together. So, yeah.
What's really cool is we've seen some previews of the in memoriam video footage for the concert for Greg Philbin, and he's playing Butter. Before he sold it to Bruce, and you treasure that bass, and it's been featured in like the vintage guitar magazines. Like it's definitely let's just say it's the only guitar called out in our will. So, and I think that our youngest gets it because he's got the closest to playing bass guitar, and
what's funny is when
cute.
That thing when Greg first got it, it was a different color, and they sanded it down and varnished it and made it all kind of slick and look nice. So when I bought it, it looked nice. And one night, in the middle of the winter in Illinois, which can get pretty darn cold, I accidentally left it in the equipment van. And the next day when I opened it up, it had all these cracks and stuff in the varnish. But it was, at the time, I didn't like it. But then as time went by, I started liking it a lot. And when I got to California, they found out Fender started making these guitars. They were called, new guitars, but they called them relics, and made them look beat up. And they found out about Butter, and I took her down there, and they started studying her for the fact that
she was all jacked up.
She was all jacked up. She was, naturally relicked by the weather. Naturally. And so they learned how to. They started doing that to the guitars. And I know they charge more for a relic guitar than they do for brand new.
Butter will be at the concert. And
yeah.
What I love is, like, if you look at the backside of Butter, there's like duct tape, or roadie tape as you call it.
Yeah.
She's all like taped up, and like it's
that's protected from the belt buckle.
She doesn't get strapped up. She's gonna get all strapped
it's
up.
something else but roadie tape, but she's perfect, and that's my husband right there. He's like the most down to earth, crazy hippie from the Midwest. You'd never dream in a million years he was a rock star in real life, just because he's like, he fixes everything himself. He makes things work however he can, and there's a lot of duct tape involved.
Yeah,
reminds me of Tim the Tool Man, like everything. Yeah, super glue. Oh,
but isn't that the story of a lot of bands, though? Because you had to do so much of your own stuff early on,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, they talk about starving musicians. That's exactly what you're doing.
But most of them get all like jaded and don't mow their own lawn and stuff. And like Bruce, he cooks, he mows. He's like, he just can't sit still. And he's, we've never had maids and all. Like we're just Midwestern folk,
Yeah.
Wow. When you're prepping for a concert like this, how long does it take?
Oh, I've been doing it for the last 3 months, practicing. We finally figured out what songs we want to play.
Don't tell him.
I can't tell him. But I've been practicing them every day, and singing, got to get the voice back into shape. Doing lots of exercises for that. And just trying to get back into a physical position where you feel like you can comfortably perform. I mean, I haven't been out for a while.
We have to turn him back into a rock star, basically, is what he's saying. But he'll go in our guest house, and thank goodness, because it's loud in our house. We've got our youngest son is about to go to college, and he's a drummer. Between the drums and the bass, it's thumping at Hall Manor here. And but Bruce, I can hear him in the guest house, like singing, and it's very cool. Like, I think the fans, especially the ones that have been, like, I'm the biggest REO Speedwagon fan on the planet, and I don't apologize for that. And I mean, I'll know every word to every song, and it makes a lot of sense that I'm married to him now. But true diehard fans that have been begging for certain songs over the years, oh my, I can't tell anybody what they are, but they're so good. Like, the Setlist is a dream come true Setlist. It's really, really going to be amazing. And you'll never hear it again. Like, it's so cool.
No.
So a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so I know you can't tell us the songs on the set list, but is there a song overall that after all these years you just still really love to perform or to play?
Well, I mean, Back on the Road Again is my song I wrote back. It's funny, when I wrote that song, I wrote it...
that song's definitely going to be there, we can tell you that.
Yeah, and when I wrote it, it had a different feel. It was more of a blues song, kind of. Mm-hmm. And when I got in REO, after You Can Tune Piano, But You Can't Tune a Fish album, we were looking for material to do for the Nine Lives album. And Gary came to me and said, what about that song Back on the Road Again? I told him I said, I don't believe it's really a rock song. It's not really an REO song. He goes, we can make it an REO song.
Oh, boy.
He said, we're going to make it into an REO song. Yeah. And so he's the one who kind of really started it in that direction. With, yeah, there's guitars.
And I still think, like, that guitar lick that Gary did, it's the same guitar lick that Eddie Van Halen uses in Beat It.
Yep.
It's the same guitar lick that's in I Wear Your Sunglasses at Night. Hello, Back on the Road was there first, but somebody didn't ever do anything about it. I'm just saying, it's that cool. He also wrote a song called Let's Bebop that is the Friends theme song. Like, it's the Friends theme song. that is like it's just barely different. I'm just saying.
I may have noticed.
Yep.
Anyway, we turned back on the road again into an REO Speedwagon song, and it turned out great. It turned out so much fun. It's just real simple rock, but it sure is fun.
Yeah.
Sure is fun. And isn't that part of playing in a concert, though, is like to have some fun while you're making music?
We want everybody to come and have tons of fun.
It's definitely the showstopper of the concerts, right in the middle of the REO shows. They would put back on the road to get everybody up on their feet, and then from then on, it's just bam, 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 bam to the encore. So, but your favorite song to play is what in concert?
I like "Time for Me to Fly."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't mind me while I'll be singing at the top of my lungs, right?
Right.
It's great to watch. I love to see the crowd sing along. It's so good.
Yeah.
And then their kids sing.
Yeah.
Like generations.
Can sing.
Yeah. I mean, how does that feel to be involved in such a generational thing?
It's amazing. I mean, when we started, the crowd was the same age as us, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
And then we were lucky enough to continue forward for years and years and years. So the people that were our age had children, and then they would raise them on some REO. And the next thing you'd see is the moms and the dads and the kids, right? And then as they got almost 50 years here.
And then would think that, like it was on Rock Band, like their music was in Rock Band, the Grand Theft Auto, like all these video games that use REO Speedwagon, and then the Cheetos commercial, like kids started knowing, like, right? And it's Horton Hears a Who had Can't Fight was in that. So like all these kids, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, they love REO Speedwagon, and it's
we'll see little ones there now singing every word.
What a blessing!
Every word, yeah.
I literally walked up to the coffee shop at the hospital yesterday, and they had "Can't Fight This Feeling" blaring as I walked up to get my order, and all the young baristas there, and I looked at them and I said, I am talking to Bruce Hall from that band tomorrow, and you guys nailed it. And they're like, oh, we love this song.
They're the soundtrack of our lives, you know.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I always say when people go like, how do you handle being married to a guy that's never home? I'm like, well, he's in my favorite band. If he wasn't in my favorite band, this would never fly. Like, and I love his music. Like, I just, it's so grateful for that.
So how did you two meet?
At a concert.
Okay, I
in
love
Tulsa,
this.
Oklahoma in 1984. I was in the front row back when you had to stand in line for tickets. My dad stood in line with me all night long and bought the whole front row for me and my friends. And during the guitar solo, I was not on this guy's side of the stage. Gary Richrath pulled my Madonna bow out of my hair. and I lost it, and we ended up backstage, and that's how we officially met. And we became friends. There was no monkey business going on then because I was too young. But it was just fate, and I ended
basically
up.
It's a song. Can't Fight This Feeling.
It truly is. Can't Fight This Feeling is literally our story, and it's too long to tell here, and I think I'm going to write a book someday. So, but it's just, it was definitely fate, and in fact, every time we're back in Tulsa, where I grew up, we take pictures in front of the Assembly Hall, or the Assembly Center. Yours the Assembly Hall, we were the Assembly Center, the Tulsa Assembly Center, and I thank my lucky stars that my daddy stood in line with me all night long and got me those tickets, because it really changed the course of my life. And
absolutely, it sounds like a movie.
Yeah,
Kinda.
It's definitely a beautiful love story. There's a lot in between. I mean, because he was a rock star in every sense of the word, if you know what I mean. And I couldn't. Oh Lord, I would not have been able to handle that. I would not have been able to be married to him at that point in your. But we were always together. We were friends, and we knew all of the skeletons in each other's closets. I mean, all of them. I saw a lot of your skeletons.
Yikes!
You scarred a lot of people.
Whoa.
But it's all right. We shouldn't say that.
It's living life, and life's a journey. Like that. It's just like it's a path that you take, and you wander, and then sometimes your paths cross and stay the same, and that's what makes you who you are, though, too. Like you don't actually change those things because it makes you become the person you are at the next moment. So
don't fight the feeling, folks. If sometimes the right person is right under your nose for years before you actually realize it. Well, I think you realized it.
I did.
Yeah. I couldn't get my head around it, and he was drinking, and I thought, oh, he called me in the middle of the night. Give up.
I used to be a professional drinker.
Oh yeah, clean and sober, 26 years now, 27.
Amazing.
And then A Beautiful Family.
Yeah.
You said something about one of the albums. Okay, we're going to talk about album covers for that because you said can't tune a piano. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Speaking of album covers, that one is spectacular with the tuna fish and the tuning fork coming out of the mouth.
That's a real fish.
Yeah, it is.
You didn't catch it, did you? He is the fishing musician. Did you catch that tuna?
No.
Okay,
no,
good.
No. But yeah.
I mean, there's a tuning fork in his mouth. Who came up with that?
That was that happened just before I got in the band. The guys were in Colorado. This is the story I got. And it's they had a gathering of dinner, and somebody made the joke. You can tune.
I think it was Kevin. I think
you can tune a piano. You can't tune a fish.
And then one of the crew guys.
Yeah.
Or
it was from an old Marx movie or something. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. So we needed an album title, and that was kind of funny. We were kind of goofy at the time, so that was it. And then we had if you notice on the back, we're out in the desert. That's a evening shoot of us standing on rocks out in the desert. Because we tried to do it in the morning, but it was too doggone cold. So if you look real close, you can see us shivering still in the desert. But the tuna fish was a real tuna fish with a tuning fork in his mouth. And they held him just the sun was right. Back then, you couldn't Photoshop. It was all done on film. So
yeah.
So
it's so funny because you can see the platinum records and stuff behind. I have the tuna fish one in it's in because it's just I don't want an ugly old fish on my wall.
It's a hilarious album cover, though. It's spectacular. Speaking of, this is High Infidelity here. Some gorgeous artwork on that out the window, and then the graphics too are amazing on that album. This is an original from the release. That is a well-used, well-loved album, and just the album art is so spectacular. And then what's over your shoulder?
Oh. Move your hippie head. So right here is the Diamond Award. So that's for when it went 10 million albums sold. That's the that's the Diamond Award Platinum Record display, and then we actually have a Diamond Award.
Yeah.
So in the other room, it's it was really cool. Presented on the top of a building in New York City by Mark Goodman from MTV fame, and it was a really magical day that day. Yeah.
Oh. I love that. So, okay, speaking of songs, I wanted to ask one more question. Is there a song that you think is under-recognized?
Sure. Well, can I say them?
Several of them are going to be performed.
Okay.
And a lot written by Gary Richrath, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say I love my favorite song he ever wrote was called "Born to Love You," and it's about me, and it has his dad playing clarinet. So Bruce comes from this amazing line of musicians. His dad was a jazz musician, played clarinet, saxophone, and he played clarinet on the intro, right? And it was literally right before he passed away, months before he passed away, and we were so. It's magical because it's about me and our love story, but it's also has his daddy on it. The sheet, the sheet behind us, that's a bed sheet, right? Tell them about what that is.
That was made by my great-great-grandfather, who was a music teacher, and it's on a little bedspread, a little bed
a sheet. Yeah.
He made that so he could fold it up, and he would ride on his horse.
Put it in his satchel.
Yep, and he taught in schools and in churches, and he would take that with him. And my dad gave that to me, and I didn't know what to do with it at first. And I thought, I have to put it in a frame. Where am I going to get a frame? I had to have a special frame made for it, but...
Yeah.
But we love it because it reminds you, of Bruce's mom was a singer in the Sweet Adelaides. Is that how you Adelines. And our youngest daughter is an incredible singer-songwriter, and our son is a drummer extraordinaire, and Tommy, our oldest son, plays clarinet and saxophone, and I was a music major, so it's really, music's super important and special to us, and definitely in the DNA.
Definitely in the DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get away from it.
And none of them read music except Timmy. So Timmy reads music because of school. But Sarah and Bruce, and all of your brothers played bass guitar. Yeah. He's oldest of 5.
Well, I keep handing them down.
Hand down clothes and bass guitars, and they all are these amazing. And nobody reads music, which is crazy to me because I have to like study and practice and learn, and they just have it.
That's insane.
It's just natural.
Yeah, Dad could read music.
Well, yeah.
I just never took the time. It would seem like I was too busy to learn how to do it. Because in a band, you don't you just come up with a part that sounds right. It works. So,
yeah, that's just what you do, honey. You just come up with a part. It's that easy.
And then you remember it. That's just what everyone does. That is why you are in a blockbuster band.
Well, I had teachers. I had Paul McCartney, James Jamerson, these great bass players, Leland Sklar, these bass players that you listen to all the time and go, I like those licks. Those are pretty cool. So you learn how to do that. And then these become part of your paints that you can paint from. And then when you get a song like an REO song, you just go, you got to go to what you know, and you learn how to put the bass parts are kind of fun because you don't want to walk all over the melody, but you want to complement it.
You don't want to be too busy. Right.
Yeah, you get too busy.
I can hear him saying he'll listen to old records of him or other people like that's too busy. That's too busy.
It all depends. If it complements the melody and it works in the song, then it's okay. Usually.
I mean, sometimes the bass part is the driving part. Like that's what gets you.
It can be.
Get you going.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Just me going.
I mean, but I grew up when we had my brother had this component stereo system and speakers the size of tables.
Yeah.
That bass part was turned up. That equalizer was heavy on the bass. So I'm just gonna say I grew up listening to that bass part front and center.
Yes.
So.
I like your brother.
Shout out to my brother.
Good job, boy.
Same brother that had your album, Julie?
Yeah, man. I had to go get that. Yeah. I'm like, I need that album.
Cool.
I love it. Okay, so how did you put together the list, the music and the songs that you're playing?
Well, we tried to start with from the very beginning. That's where Terry's band, Terry Luttrell's band, they're the ones who are now responsible for that. They're doing the songs from the very first album.
Yeah, Terry was only on the first album, so there's going to be several songs highlighted from that first album that showcase he and Steve Scorfina.
And then we try to keep it in an order where it would supposedly we could keep it where the years kind of lined up and it would just show.
Kind of.
But then it got to the point where no, that's not working. We can't. That doesn't seem to be working. So we tried to find songs that would not too many slow songs together, not too many, so that it kind of builds. So the set builds up to the very end. So that's kind of where we're at with it. I'm sure it's still a ball of clay a little bit, only because we haven't all got together to rehearse yet. That's what's been hard, is because here's this concert coming up, and we haven't even physically been together in the same room. We're just practicing our parts.
I'm not worried though. Oh my Lord, you should hear this.
I'm not worried either.
Magic.
Yeah, and there's going to be significant rehearsal time in Champaign before the show, so nobody.
And it's not like you haven't played together before.
Right.
Like there's a lot of muscle memory that just kicks in.
Well, three of us, me and Neil and Alan, played on all these tracks. So, I mean,
all of them. Yeah.
So we know those songs.
Yeah.
It's the vocal parts.
We
got vocal parts. Usually Kevin would do them, but he can't be there. But we have our friends. There's a band called Levon who opened up for REO. Gosh, over 100 shows. It seems like.
Oh
they
my
did.
gosh, amazing young men out of Nashville, and I mean, look them up. Levon.
Amazing boys.
Unbelievable harmonies,
Right.
Yeah.
And they were on the Song when you guys were on the television show The Song.
Yep.
Yvonne Bruce's asked them to be there and sing back up, and even Ryan plays mandolin on Keep on Loving You in that show, and they're just incredibly talented musicians, and so unfortunately when REO ended, so did their gig, right? So they hadn't been able to continue to make the living that they had. So we're going to throw them up in front of everybody, and just hopefully, the promoter already loves them and is working on getting them more shows, because they're phenomenal. Like it's our hope that they become super famous. Well, before REO imploded, we wanted Levon to take all of our equipment and all of our guitars. We've got a garage full of gear, and but they're just phenomenal, and they're going to really enhance the vocals.
Yeah, I called them up and asked them if they could participate, and they all said yes. And I said, "Well, you're going to be busy, because I got them singing backgrounds, I got them singing some leads and stuff."
Ryan's playing lead guitar. I mean,
almost
to
every song.
have to play Gary Richrath's part, and that's how good he was. The youngest person to ever be on the Grand Ole Opry stage as a little boy. So this guy is a phenomenal musician, and Ryan Holiday, and he's worked. You've recorded with him on some jingles recently, and he's dear. I mean, they're family. These we've adopted these kids, and but Ryan is like literally our son, and is brother and sister with Sarah and Timmy, and he fits right in. And
they're going to definitely help us with this project.
Oh,
and we're lucky to have them.
Yeah, because it's a celebration of the music and the songs, and just it's. I think everybody would have loved to have Kevin there. But he has a show, and hopefully he'll still maybe record something. Because it's his foundation too. It's the REO Speedwagon Foundation that this is going to. So I'm sure he wants it to be successful and it to be a wonderful show. And he loves Levon as well. So I think the boys are going to do his parts that we do play. Really,
well, this concert sounds like an amazing event. It feels like more of an event.
It is, right.
Like it's celebrating all these things, plus
I've got friends flying in from all over the country, even Hawaii.
Well, tell him who's coming from Hawaii.
A girl by the name of Elizabeth Fry. We used to call her Lizard. She was, that was, she told us, that was her nickname. Lizard. And she was our wardrobe gal back in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
She moved to Hawaii a long time ago. And
she is beloved by the REO fans. She was on the MTV specials with them. She was kind of like the band mom at the time. She's in lots of videos, and it's original manager John Barrick's coming. I think Irving Azoff may come. Like it's just it's going to be Old Home Week, and then just a celebration. Like we've got a whole section in the hall. The halls have a whole section in the auditorium that we're super excited, like to have, all of his family, and his high school friends, and we're calling it a Hollabration. It's going to be a Hollabration, and just
it's all in my hometown. And
I'm not watching from backstage. I'm going to be in the crowd. I'm being in the crowd.
So if we want to go, Kimmie, right? If we want to go to this concert, how do we get tickets for this?
It's statefarmcenter.com. And then you scroll down until you find Honoring the Legacy of REO Speedwagon. And you can grab your tickets. Now, listen, it's selling very well, right? And so I think almost all of the seats on like the lower section, the mid section, and there's upper section seats. But I'm telling y'all, the upper section seats are going to be the ones to get, because there's multiple video walls and multiple things that you're going to be able to see if you're up higher. I mean, I personally am the front row girl, right? I love the front row, and I get that, and I know that the front row is important.
I worry to death when she's down there.
I'm not. Yeah. He needs to know where I'm at all times. It's a long situation, but I am going to be in our family section, so you're going to have to. I'll wave at you. But if the seats that are available are up higher, right? Because it is a month away, and we're very excited how well it's sold. Like, we're so excited. But don't be afraid of those nosebleed section, because you're going to see, I'm not kidding, there's giant screens, bigger than any really REO production you've ever been to. It
scares me a little,
guys.
because there's the big cameras like right up my nose.
Yeah, those cameras right in your face.
Old man. Listen, I'll tell you what, my old man turned 72 or a few days ago, May 3rd.
Happy birthday.
Right?
Happy birthday.
I think he looks amazing, and you know what? You don't want to, everybody in the crowd. I like that beer. I'm trying to keep it.
But you know what? Here you are, rocking on.
Selling out stadiums still, yeah.
Right. And the concert is June 15th. So when you're looking...
June 14th.
June 14th.
Huh?
14th.
June 14th. What? We got the wrong date. June 14th. It's... and so when you're scrolling down looking for tickets, they'll go into June. Because I was scrolling down at that time. I was just on the website before this looking for tickets and to see what was available out there. But there's still tickets, yeah. So grab them and get there. It's a benefit concert, so you said buy the merchandise. That will also support...
All the merchandise. All the merchandise is going. I mean, I can't even thank the folks from Champaign enough for even coming up with this. And being able, like, so many of their amazing ideas. And when they talked about merchandise, Bruce is like, well, we don't need to make any money. And it has to go to, so there's going to be multiple t-shirt options. There could be some signed posters, commemorative items that are going to be available. It's just, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And I promise you that all the money's going straight to the Moffitt Cancer Center, which they're super excited to. We're going to save lives. We're going to spread awareness.
That's the idea.
And we're going to rock out while doing so.
Yes.
I love it. If somebody cannot be there, is the merchandise available online?
Well, I don't know yet. And I know a lot of folks have asked about if it's going to be recorded. And that's another thing that we're
looking into it.
We are looking into it. It's kind of, that's a piece that we really hadn't thought about, that the promoter hadn't, and it's not our show, right? It's not, Bruce and I are not putting this show on by ourselves. Like, it's like we're just participants and creative input. But I have heard that they are looking at recording it, so it could be available, but I would not count on it. And then I would assume there would be a way to purchase the merchandise after. We can definitely figure that out if it's not on our site. Because we have outlets that way.
Sure.
Yeah, so I hope so. But folks you can find the QR code to donate directly to the Moffitt Cancer Center Fund, REO Speedwagon Fund, and I can send that to you guys. And it's posted on Bruce's Facebook page and different avenues. They'll have a QR code at the show. But so if you want to contribute directly.
We would love to share that QR code.
Absolutely.
Also.
Yeah,
absolutely. Supporting charitable causes and these fantastic cause that you have developed this foundation is very much something we love doing. So, we'd love to grab that QR code and put that up as part of
definitely.
That's great.
Part of our
That would
stuff.
be helpful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bruce and Kimmie, would you play a quick little game with us?
Sure.
Okay.
It's not really a game. It's more of favorites.
Okay.
So.
Okay, do you have a favorite movie?
The movie?
I love Disney like you can't even believe.
I did hear that.
For Disney for 30 years. So I love all Disney movies, but I think The Lion King is definitely up there, as well as Tangled, because our son looks like Flynn Rider and our daughter-in-law looks like Rapunzel.
I love it.
Yeah, so and I just love the music in that. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, well, music's
I
great.
love all the Marvel movies, all the Captain Americas and just all of them, Infinity War. And I mean, all those are just great. I like those action fiction kind of
Yeah.
movies. Boy
Yeah,
stuff.
those
Boy
are
stuff. But at least it's still Marvel's still owned by Disney, so
That's
I'm so
right.
proud of him. Look at him go.
Oh, you see
Right?
the Thunderbolts. That's going to be supposed to be
You
great.
and the boys can knock yourself out.
Okay.
I do have to know some Marvel stuff because I am, I retired now, but yeah, Marvel.
Those are great movies.
Yeah, there's
though.
so much.
Yeah. How about a TV series? Do you have a favorite TV series? Is something you're currently binging?
She loves Raymond.
No.
And Friends?
Days of Our Lives.
Oh,
I
jeez
can't
Louise.
believe you.
Yeah.
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 Here.
Oh, no.
Or Days of Our Dumbheads is what Tommy called it. And there's like, our kids make fun of me and they all have to shut up when it's on because they.
When it comes
Yes,
on, because they
She
know.
records them now.
Yeah, it's no Days is on. You got to be quiet,
She hasn't
right?
recorded. She's got to.
No, they're on the Peacock now and I don't know how to pause it like I
Oh.
used to. So you have to.
I don't know how
And
to
stop
pause
asking me
it.
questions. They act like they hate it and they don't know, but then they'll go, "What's happened? And who is possessed by the devil and who's buried alive?" And I'm like, "Stop talking!"
I'll go. I said, I start watching and I start kind of getting sucked in. I go, no, I'm not getting sucked
love
into this.
I've been watching Days of Our Lives since I was a little girl, so and I'm never going to
I
stop.
mean,
And we're
speaking
going to all
of
have.
musicians, there was a musician on Days of Our
Well,
Lives
yeah.
back in the
Yeah,
day.
Rick Springfield used to be
No,
on.
that was General Hospital.
That was General
Who
Hospital.
was on that?
Jack Wagner as Frisco.
Oh, Jack Wagner was General Hospital too, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Frisco
that was
Jones.
Days.
Yeah, Days.
Yeah.
But one of the songs I think for Jennifer and Frankie, that's how far back I'm throwing it, was "Can't Fight This Feeling." So.
Go figure.
Oh, gotta love that. Yeah.
All worlds collide.
Do you watch TV?
I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch sports.
Oh yes.
I've been enjoying the NBA playoffs a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, the NBA playoffs are going.
That's right.
Go Wolves.
Yep.
Take out the Lakers in
Yeah,
five.
Lakers gone. Fuck.
You'll be all right.
No, I mean, I know.
He's late.
Well, around here, our son's going to Oklahoma for college, and he's a big Oklahoma Thunder fan. Oklahoma's
Okay.
Our
Okay.
son.
Yeah.
My husband's a big Celtics
Okay.
fan, so yeah.
all right.
I don't
I'm in
watch.
Minnesota. We're cheering for the Wolves. So.
They're good, man. They're so
You got to be
good.
true to your teams for
Yeah,
sure.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, when you are not busy being a rock star, what are your hobbies? Do you have favorite
I
hobbies?
fish. I love to go fishing.
Oh, fish.
I used to golf a lot.
A lot.
But I can't do that right now. But I do love to fish, and I go out almost daily to do that. We live
Wow.
in Florida, so I mean, it's the choice.
Yeah.
He fishes
Easy access.
everywhere.
Yeah.
When he was on tour, like we have the tracking device on each other, and you'd pull up Bruce, and there was always a body of water where he was. He's under like the overpass fishing like a hobo. He had a bike on
Like
the
a
back of the
hobo.
bus, and like, the man loves to fish. Loves to fish.
Okay, if you're in the Twin Cities, we got lakes right in our downtown
I
area.
know.
River.
It's nice up there.
I'm sure you fished all
Yeah,
over
the
them.
fishing's great.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And what about you, Kimmie?
I have a lot of activities with our charity. I have a charity that I'm the president of called Ear for You, and it's for hospitality folks. It was mostly active during the pandemic, and
Yeah.
and then I'm involved with the Horizon West Theater Company, which just did I was a creative producer for Rock of Ages, so we just did the play Rock of Ages, and then
Yeah.
I am a band mom for my son's high school, very active with that. Now he's going to Oklahoma, so I will be spending a lot of time. So will Bruce. We'll find him a place to fish in the Oklahoma. But I am grandma of three beautiful granddaughters. We have three beautiful granddaughters, and so I have a lot of time. But my favorite thing in the world to do is to jump on the Disney cruise, and we do. We call it the Mickey boat in our family, and I have magical issues.
Oh,
I
big
not
time.
only work for Disney, I live, breathe, and eat all things Disney, and I love to bless our family and friends with lots of magical Disney experiences, and jump on the Mickey boat as often as I can, and
Damn
thank
mouse.
goodness, damn mouse. He's always going, that damn mouse, take all my money, but it's all right.
I'm just like, wait, you could be on a Disney cruise and you could be cruising with Rockstar.
Oh, we're
We
on
do
the
it all
Disney
the
cruise.
time.
We've been on 43 now
Yeah.
Disney cruises, just Disney cruises.
Wow.
And Bruce is well known because you can't miss him. And it's so great because the fans will come up and, I mean, it's like,
What's that thing called where you go to doors and you put the.
oh, the fish extenders where
Yeah.
we do little like magical moments and give gifts and we walk around. And I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's our thing. And
It's fun.
it's yeah. And the Disney cruise, I mean, it's Broadway play, it's amazing food, you know, it's just, it's our thing. And we like to treat everybody.
A fun thing to have. Yes. I love it.
I love that. That would be magical. Like if I was on a Disney cruise and then I would be like, wait, no way, that would be.
Oh, well, Neil
that
Dowdy, our keyboard player, he's been on several now because we got him hooked on them. And so Bruce and Neil are on the cruises together. And people want to do double takes. And they're like, what is going on?
Well, you know they have those rock cruises where they have bands. You might like.
Yes.
Yes. Right. I've seen that. I think our friend,
Yeah, Todd
Carey, yeah.
travels with Train, and they've done a few of those. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. So no, that would be fun. I'd sign up for a REO Speedwagon. Get your rock friends. Just make it a rock friends cruise.
We did the Rock Legends cruise, the last one that REO did. What we were talking about on the Disney cruise, they decorate their doors and but they do that on the rock cruises as well. And everybody in the rock cruise stays up all night and parties, and we don't. So we're up at the butt crack of dawn, you know, roaming the halls and drinking our coffee. And so people would decorate their doors, and Bruce would sign, and we would take pictures of Bruce in front of their doors and leave guitar picks and like do little magical moments like that. And so that. Some people think we're nuts, but I think, you know, it's fun to spread joy and create happiness. And it was super fun for us too to look at all the creative ways that they decorated with REO stuff. And,
learn the ship that way.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you're always finding little moments to
no matter
joy.
you create lots of magic.
Well, I learned it from you.
No matter where you are, no matter what you do, you can always have somebody smile, right? You should always be thinking of ways to bless someone or finding little opportunities just to be kind and make folks smile. And I had a dad that taught me that, and I love to spread happiness and joy however I can. So,
you know what? I think this concert in your foundation is another way to spread kindness. And joy, and people might not think about it that way, but you can bring hope to families.
Right?
It's a big part of it.
It's a huge thing to be able to say, hey, my son had cancer. He survived. He has a daughter. That it's not a death sentence. It doesn't have to change your entire life. But what we do need to do is continue to provide funds so they can save it and they can cure it, right? Because we still need cures, and that's our hope someday, you know, and what an amazing opportunity to take a big old chunk of money that we're going to raise from this concert and help people, give them hope, you know, and show them. And Tommy is like, seriously, he'll talk to anybody about it. Like anybody. He's not embarrassed.
I feel like we feel like we're blessed. We have such a wonderful life. And that's because of the fans and all, but there's a lot of folks that don't. And when you're in a position to help, you have to do it.
Have to. When God blesses us, we bless others. That's been our what we've taught our children. And you know, we believe in God. You don't have to believe in God to be a kind person and to make a difference either. You know, we love we have straight children, gay children. We embrace everyone. We love everyone, no matter what politics they believe. It's like you can't get bogged down in life and not enjoy it.
Right.
And shit's going to happen to you, no matter how magical you are or what you do for a living. And
You said shit.
I know, but I don't know my name.
It's okay. We're a little unbuttoned.
It's all right. It's all right. But I mean, sometimes that does happen, right?
Yeah,
it's
sure
not
does.
all magical and fairy tales, and
Right.
and no matter who you are, life can get really heavy.
It's not all rainbows and unicorns.
No, I think the magic is actually how you are able to handle a situation
Right.
and what you do with what you're
Yeah.
given,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So if we can bring awareness, and that's why I said again, I would wish cancer on no one, but I understand why our son got it,
Yeah.
and we could have either let it tear us down as a family and stop and, you know, oh, woe is me, or fight it and make a difference, and hopefully, I mean, I know he's already saved lives
Yeah.
with folks coming forward,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what we're going to be able to do with this. So wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a wonderful thing to use your reach for.
Well, if you were down, if I was down and out and I needed help, I would want somebody to come along and help me too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you feel that's kind of, we're all in this together, right?
Mhm.
Everybody,
Right.
no matter what, where you're from or what country or where state you live in, everybody, we're all connected. And if somebody needs help,
Well, you were you didn't have any money growing up, and we always, I mean, to this day, we go and we donate money to the food bank in Champaign. We go buy groceries, and we serve the homeless every time we're there, because Bruce had, his family was benefit from that, you know, when they were younger. So it's like you either can tear it down from how you're raised, or you can change and make a difference and try. Everybody can make a difference, no
Yeah.
matter who you are or
Yeah.
how much money you have or how much little money you have. You can still make a difference.
Walking alongside people is how you lift them up, and tearing them down is never going to make any of us better.
No.
Yeah. I love what you said earlier, Kimmie, about just making people smile. Like, you don't have to give anything to make somebody smile. You could just offer a smile and
Be genuine
change
and
somebody's
have integrity and always tell the truth. I think that's another thing. It's like, you know, you don't have to sugarcoat things. But you need to be truthful with folks, right? You know, you need to have integrity and care for others. And I think that's a good value that my daddy instilled in me, that I know that Bruce has. I mean, he's literally the best man I know, and loves his fans. No, you really are. He cares about people.
I do.
He
I love it.
loves his fans. He never takes fame or anything for granted. He's super talented, but you know, he's always saying there's people more talented than me. All of his brothers are crazy talented, and he doesn't take for granted the fact that he was the rock star. He got to make it, you know, and I think that's what the longevity of REO Speedwagon to this point is because you have to have, you know, understanding and acceptance and grace, and just be so grateful that's still being played to this day on the radio so much.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. That there's still children
Yeah.
singing
Every time it
word.
comes on the radio, we crank it up and
Every
we say
last
thank
word.
you, God. That's all. Everyone in our family, crank it up and say thank, and listen to the whole thing, because you don't want to turn it. We can never hear it enough.
Right?
Yeah.
The minute you stop
Turn it-
appreciating it, that's when it'll go away.
You know, it is really that music is the soundtrack of our lives. We hear it everywhere. We're excited for the concert, which will be at the State Farm Center in Champaign, Illinois. And you can go to the statefarmcenter.com to get tickets and information. We will also post the QR code for direct donations for the foundations. This has really been exciting to talk to you guys.
We sure appreciate it very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you for spending part of your morning with us, and we hope to talk to you again sometime. Congratulations on this wonderful concert coming up June 14th. And thank you everybody for watching or listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you next time.
Have a magical day.
Bye.
Bye.